Do not settle. Open the doors to happiness. This is day 15 of Mindful Zen Habits review, where we're really trying to understand together how can we apply the things that we know better, but we're not living them any better in our lives. So today it's a very short video because it's just about understanding that your brain spends more time in what doesn't make sense than what makes sense. Meaning, Carl Jung mentioned once, your brain doesn't go in between you did something good, you did something bad. It goes in between sense and nonsense. So we got to understand that we have this troubling mechanism, this anti-serenity mechanism in human nature. We'll focus more on what we don't have and what we're dissatisfied with instead of being grateful for what we do have and what we could be happy with. So on that note, can you notice when you're not making sense? And can you notice when you are making sense? Can you see the distinction in your road, in your day, in when you have a responsibility, the ability to respond instead of reacting? Now, when we come back to being able to meditate and introspect about what we do want, how we want to do things in life, how we want to respond to things, it just enables us to have a game plan that could go into action. Staying overwhelmed with time, with stress, running all over the place, I don't have time for this, keeps us in this never-ending cycle. So to break the cycle, you just want to acknowledge that, hey, 2/3 of the time my brain's going to go towards what I don't have and what I'm not satisfied with. So how can you turn this around? Happiness, the end result, at least a level of happiness, not like super joy and excitement. I'm talking about happiness where you're like, I'm good. That type of happiness. It has to be exercised like a muscle, so you have to have an opportunity for you to exercise it. Every time that you notice that your mind is making less sense, you're getting caught up in something, you could exercise it. A proactive manner that I've used is with breathing. See, when I started practicing on a regular basis to everything where there's no one else, eventually when there's other people, I would practice doing belly breathing, where I feel my abdomen accumulating with air as I inhale, and I just exhale, goodness, and I feel good, I'm good. But I notice that whenever people are upset, there's tension, see, the breath stops and we're like barely breathing, the shallow breathing, which is not good for the brain. The brain cannot be relaxed and fully empowered with the air it needs. So proactively breathing this way creates a habit of this is your new normal. So whenever unconsciously you notice, hey, your breathing is not like how it usually is, that could be one of the signal defenses of, hey, wait a minute, maybe something's not making sense here. How can I get back on track? The strategies that were suggested in the previous chapters were really about also meditating in the morning, visualizing how you could do better in your day at the opportunities where things usually go wrong. If you could visualize yourself doing something better, that means it is possible, and that's probably what's going to happen. It's like allowing yourself to daydream into reality. So what are the methods that you have used to be able to kind of manage the mood that you want? You can't just think about happiness and it's going to happen. That's like a fantasy. You got to literally exercise it. Let's look at a very common example. You want to get a fitness level at a whole new level, such as you want to lose fat and increase your muscle a bit. See, the human nature is I'm going to torture myself to get there because I have to get there. I'm attached. I have to get there. You've just took happiness and kicked it out of your house. It's impossible for you to be happy as you're doing it because you made a commitment to yourself that I'm only going to be happy when I get that result. And that result in the time frame that you want it right now might not be realistic, and you just hurt yourself along the way. In between the goal that you have and where you are right now, your body's in between, and you're probably going to be ignoring your body and just force it to go through motions to get to the result that you're attached with.